I've always loved corners, especially when they're so beautiful as this place that I'm in. Wondering where I am? Well, let's give you a look at those amazing book corners. Right here in Econ Oasis, the White Digital Park at Bookends, UAE's one of a kind used books marketplace that now has a physical store. And they have something exciting coming up for winter, so go check out their channels. This lovely space is set up by two amazing women, Grace and Somia. And they talked to me about more about how they met, how all of this transpired. And it's amazing because we recently celebrated UAE Union Day, and the best thing that I love about this place is the diversity. And here's a diverse story of two women coming from completely different cultures and setting up this amazing haven of their own. Go check out and do visit Bookends here in Silicon Oasis. And until the next one, stay tuned. This is Karishma, and I'll be back every Tuesday. Tada.
It's a pleasure to have you. Can't wait to know more about bookends. I'm a writer myself, which is why this story really attracted me. Because in a time where most of us are reading on Kindle and our phones, literally, I think it's very rare, courageous, and authentic for someone to go out there and start an entire business. And I have that in my questions that how did you even muster the courage? But before I get into any of that, I would like to know your journey so far. Begin from the beginning. What's been the journey?
So Karishma, I would say first of all, it's been a roller coaster for us, but an amazing ride so far for sure. We started Bookends about 3 years ago. So me and Grace were friends. Our kids are in school together.
Okay.
So always meeting up on coffee mornings and after dropping off the kids. One of the conversation we always had among our friend circles was the fact that books in this country are very expensive. And many times we found out that people, especially people from the subcontinent and all, when they go back home, they're bringing books from there simply because of the affordability there and them being expensive here. We also realized that there's always a pile of books that each mom has that kids no longer need, so they've outgrown, and there's always a list of books that they are interested who could be someone else's unwanted pile and all. So conversations along this made us think of that we should have a marketplace for pre-loved books is something that is very much lacking in this country.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is how we started. We participated in a pitch competition 3 years ago. This was organized by Shira,
Yes.
Sharjah Entrepreneurship Center, and yeah, we pitched it there. We won a prize from there, and that sort of validated the concept and made us register the company initially. And since that time, we've always had the support of a lot of book lovers, people like you who have helped us spread the stories, spread the awareness, getting people into used books. And we are very proud to say that just 6 months ago, we even opened up a physical store, which is in Dubai Silicon Oasis. So yeah, this is where we are. We currently maintain a stock of about 20,000 books on our website in more than 13 different languages, where stock is changing on daily basis. So there are books being added and sold. We also have crossed more than 1,000 sellers. These are basically people like you and me who became sellers on board, and they're constantly buying from us and selling through our platform as well.
All right. And were you both always in the entrepreneurial field, or did you all have careers before that, or what was the journey before that?
Actually, both of us, we have some kind of business background. So Somia's dad has a company where she used to help him. Additionally, she is a lecturer at American University of Sharjah, and she teaches business herself.
Lovely, lovely. No wonder.
Yeah. And for me, I started the first online marketplace in the Middle East back in 1999 in Lebanon, when internet was a luxury, when all of this did not even exist. So I managed that for a few years. And after that, I went into education as well, and I am an avid reader myself, so I love books. I am an author. I have my own book to teach Arabic for non-speakers. So languages are my passion. I teach Arabic, French, and the normal traditional class teaching in schools.
Lovely.
And this is our background.
Wow, that's lovely. It so happened that in the past couple of episodes, I've been talking to a lot of people who love languages, and this is yet another brilliant one here. Tell me, both of you have experience in business, but what really changed, or what did you kind of learn through the process of setting up Bookends specifically? Because the model is very unique from what I understand, and I would love if you could get into the details of the model as well.
I would say, Karishma, that I mean, of course, we like Grace mentioned that we both came from a little bit of an understanding of business, but no two businesses are alike. You know, our audience is very, I would say, a wide variety of people, because we are catering not just to kids, catering to adults, young adults as well, different genres and stuff. And now that we have different languages as well, so it's very customer service. I feel that plays a very big part, especially starting a business during the pandemic. So we are a COVID-born business. And, you know, in a time when people were really everything had to, you know, with the hygiene and cleanliness at that time, we started a used books business at that time, you know. So the challenge, first of all, of a used item during the pandemic itself was there, but it was actually an opportunity for us, because you know, during the lockdown especially, everyone either became a chef or a reader, because we all had enough of being everything on our screens, everything being digital and stuff. So yeah, so I would say every business has its own challenges. What we have taken from ours is that we're always open to listening to feedback. If you look at our reviews, that is we're very proud of the fact that, you know, the feedback we get from our customers, our sellers, and we value each thing. Every negative comment, even for us, is a learning thing. Okay, what can we do now to improve on this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would like to add also one more point to this. Like, when you start something, you have a plan, you want to go by your plan, but there are force majeure circumstances that they are out of your control. So it doesn't mean that you have to break down. It means you have to be flexible, and you have to adapt to your situation. In our concept, our aim was to work with schools. So when COVID started, there was no way you can even talk to a school. Their own libraries were closed. So it means that our business cannot even be born. But we found another way of moving forward. And as Somia said, it was an opportunity kind of. And also, we were planning to be an online marketplace only. But again, based on our customer and based on the voice that we were listening on a regular basis, we decided to open a store.
Physical store as well.
Which is commendable.
So normally, yeah, exactly. So normally the offline businesses are going online. We did the other way around, you know?
Are people willing to read today the way they would years ago?
You know, normally everyone was saying, oh, you are going into a dying field. But I would say we are going to a reliving field. What do I mean by that? People went to electronics in terms of audiobooks and ebooks simply because books are expensive. So with Bookends, we got people to go back to their books because books are becoming affordable. This is one point. The second point, you are in a very fast moving environment. Everything is digital. Everything is fast. Like you see a trend somewhere, it lasts for a couple of days or a week at the most, and then it changes. The actual book, though it is very, very old traditional way of reading, but it's not replaceable by anything at all. Plus, it is a way for you to get your own me time with yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you are reading a book on your phone, you get easily distracted by a message coming in, by a notification popping out, by an email that, oh my God, I have to reply to that email. So you have lots of distractions when you are using your electronics. The book is forcing you to have your own me time, in addition to having the luxury of having a book in hand, because this is the charm of having a book in hand, is not replaceable by any mode of electronics.
Very
So
true.
it's not a dying business. Yeah, it is not that the world is in progress. It is still the highest form of books that is still wanted in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you bring communities together at Bookends? Because I am aware, I do see that you all do a lot of things. So tell me more about that as well.
So I want to add a little bit first to what we were talking earlier.
Absolutely.
Karishma, we come across a lot of people who contact us and say that I'm not a reader yet, but
Mm.
I want to be. So
Wow.
recommend or suggest books. So when you say that, well, are people really reading? I think we just need to bring in that culture because there are a lot of people who want to become reader. I mean, we go through this on daily basis. People will walk in, especially into the store, and like, oh, this looks amazing. Tell
Yeah.
me a book to read. Get me started. And we love having those kind of questions because we really feel that we're starting them off on a new journey here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we get them into having a blind date with a book. So we have lots of situations
Mm.
when people are walking in the store, because this is available only in our store. So people come in and they say, I'm not sure what I want to read. So why don't you try the blind date with a book? And it's fantastic. Everyone is loving it. Everyone is using it. So if you don't know what you want to read,
Mm.
or you have a gift to give to someone and you're not sure what are their likings, blind date with a book is the solution for you.
Lovely. That's a wonderful concept. Y'all are two friends. And y'all are not associated. I'm assuming y'all are not associated. You're people who met here in Dubai, or you're people who met after you. It's not something that you're associated by family, or usually when people enter partnerships. I want to ask you the beauty of doing that and how you kind of, because it's very unusual to find people who have the courage to go forward with a friendship and open up a business, and then also, contrary to popular opinion, that friendship being women together, starting up something. And I know that you also have a fine ambassador in Purva, and you're growing that community as well. So tell me something more about that vibe as well. How has that brought together, and what impact has it had?
Okay, so we love this question because
Very much.
I can see the smile.
you I think we've been both of us have been very, very lucky. We literally complete each other. I mean, who would have thought a Pakistani and someone from Lebanon
I'm sorry.
would come together to do this? So with everything we do, we have two very different opinions on things, but
Yeah.
somehow they complement each other. The work, even the work that we do, there are things that I do not like, parts of the business which I struggle with, or it's not something in my comfort zone. And Grace would jump in, and she loves doing that. She's excellent at it. And then, of course, I have my own strengths that I bring to the table. So yeah, for both of us, I don't think we ever doubted when we started. Also, because initially when we started, it was more of a fun thing to do together, to be honest, and we really felt that we were bringing people together. It was never that, the need of this business was not because we were focused on making money or anything. It was always that, oh, books and readers, and let's help out our friends get these books together and all. So it's always been like that. And I think for both of us until today, it's about just, we get excited about the people we meet here. That's what excites us. Or for example, when we receive a box of books, wonderful titles that a seller has sent. So those are joyous for us, not looking at the end of the month report, which actually would make us a little bit sad. But we started it started this in the first place. So yeah, we're blessed. We both work very well together. I like to explain our relationship as if, like I said, started by saying that we're sitting on a roller coaster. So
Yeah.
Grace is someone who's sitting right in the front, and she's the more courageous one, the one who's willing to take big and bold steps and take big risks, to jump into it without thinking twice. Me, I'm at the end of the card, and I'm making sure that everything is working fine, nothing is loose, there are no sets and stuff, and I'm being as careful as possible. So I think it is the best of all things.
Absolutely, it's a perfect balance. Do you have something to add to that, Grace?
I always remember that conversation when things were so uncertain when COVID started, and there were rumors that schools are closing and all of that. So Somia told me, I think we should slow down a bit. So I looked at her and I said, do you realize that this is not a week or 2 weeks thing? This is a long-term thing. And we have to move with the flow. We have to adapt to the situation we are in. And luckily, we did that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been where we are now. If we had slowed down or we stopped our operation, we wouldn't have reached where we are now at all.
The top 3 books, I'm going to come back to the purpose of what you do. If somebody entered the store right away, right now, what would you recommend to them? 3 of them that you think they should be starting with.
This is a very, very difficult question.
I know.
I tell you why. Because we have noticed that people follow a trend. So there is a book that is famous on TikTok, and everyone will ask for that book, whether it is a nice topic, whether
or a TV series that has come out,
or TV series, everyone will ask for that particular book.
Yeah.
For me, I think differently, and I'm sure there are lots of people who think like me. The book that I connect with, this is what I would recommend. But if I want to compare the audience, it's totally different than what my likings are. Like, for example, we all know how old Harry Potter books are.
Yeah.
Movies are out there. And still, this book is the most sellable book on our platform. The book that on a daily basis, people ask, do you have Harry Potter books? And for me, I didn't even watch the movies and I didn't read those books. This is something I don't like. I'm not a fantasy person. So I cannot recommend 3 books. It's very difficult. But I would say I like to read variety of books. Like I like thrillers. I like romance. I like self-help. I like autobiographies. So it depends on the mood, what I would like to read. I go for it. So I don't stick to one category at a time. And that differs on maybe situation I am in. But I would say that I am always reading 2 books in parallel. One self-help or business related or something like, deep and you need to think about. And one that is very light-hearted, something that is thriller, easy read, with actions, and you want to know what happens next.
Let me ask you like that then. What are you reading now? Let me put the question.
Okay. Now I'm reading a book called Limitless.
Okay. By
John Quick.
Okay. All right. And just in a nutshell, tell me what does it focus on?
Actually, I'm learning a lot from it. It is that you don't limit your abilities. It's how you can think faster, how you can read Faster. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I really recommend it. Everyone who wants to improve something in their learning journey. So I am learning a lot. And only yesterday I reached the chapter where I learned how to read faster, and I'm going to apply that.
Lovely.
And this is a practice that is very similar to going to the gym. You
Yeah.
cannot go once and do cardio and expect yourself to have strong muscles. It is something that repetitive. You have to exercise on a single day. So basically, you have to dedicate 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day in order to become expert in it, in order to increase your reading to double it or even triple it.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing book. I'm really, really enjoying it.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna come down and take that one. What about you, Soumya?
At the moment, I'm not reading anything, but the last book I read was The Kite Runner. So that's always a popular one by Father Hussein, and it's really something that we recommend quite a lot to people here as well.
What's so special about doing something like that in the place that you are in today?
I think everything makes it special, as we started by talking about how we are bringing people together. So I think, Karishma, for us, every single day when we're in the store, we love meeting people, from little babies who come in and they don't even say a word, but when they hold on to a book and they're just turning pages around, it is a sight to see for us.
Yeah.
And then just yesterday we had a much older couple, two elderly people. They came in, the sweetest and the cutest, and they were talking about books and how they were just discussing books with each other and telling us about it. So these are things that make this whole thing special for us. We've done quite a lot of different events to bring people together. We did one at the start of the school term where we got kids to become an entrepreneur for a day. We asked them to bring in their books and they can sell their textbooks. We don't deal generally in textbooks, but we provided our space for them. And it was lovely to see how kids became an entrepreneur for a day, and we gave them out certificates for participation and stuff. So it's been things like this, and so much we've done. So everything we've done here makes it special, and we are still excited every day of what is the next thing we will be able to do, where change people's life, their understanding on, first of all, pre-loved items also, and then bringing them as much into reading as possible. We do our bit.
I would like to add one thing. Like, for example, today we had a live auction event, which is we take a bundle of books and then we go live on Instagram, few bundles actually, and then people start bidding and someone will win that. So this is really, really a fun activity. And the nice thing about it is that you feel connected to people. There are some people who are, for example, newcomers. They don't know much about Bookends and how things are. So the other audience answer the questions. They ask us, for example, how can I become a seller? And then someone else will answer and not us. So you can feel that Bookends is not driven by money, 100%. It is a community, from the community back to the community. It's connecting people. You feel that you are on a mission, you're doing something. And then the money will come with the time, definitely. You cannot survive and you cannot continue what you're doing if you don't generate money. Plus, we are also having employees, so we have responsibility on us. So we have to take care of that part. But this is not our drive. This is the last thing. The mission we are on is a lot more important.
More power to that mission of yours, because it's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your journey.